This brief is after a meeting of the Funeral Planning Committee for His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, former President of the Republic of Ghana. And I'm instructed by the Funeral Planning Committee to make this announcement to the nation. First, I want to introduce to you, may I say, some categories of members of the team. We have the security agencies comprising the armed forces, the police, etc., who will be providing a lot of logistical support, and indeed, on the very final day, who will be taking charge of the entire enterprise. May I ask you just to rise at the back so that we can acknowledge you, the security agencies that are working with us. Thank you very much. Please resume your seat. We have government representatives from state protocol, Jubilee House, etc., who are here with us. May I ask the government representatives also to rise so that we can acknowledge you. We are pleased to have with us the family of His Excellency, the former President, nuclear and extended. Please rise, let us acknowledge you as well. We are also, thank you very much, we are pleased to have with us representatives of the Anglo Traditional Council, led by the Awadada himself, who is here. Let's acknowledge you, sir. Thank you very much. Those are representatives of the Anglo Traditional Council. So this is a very simple brief, as I mentioned, and I will take any questions that you have subsequent to that. The activities to celebrate the life and inter the mortal remains of His Excellency, the former President, are the ones I'll outline to you shortly. I also want to acknowledge Alhaji Mahama Idrisu of the National Democratic Congress. He's chair of the Council of Elders. He's here with us. Alhaji, thank you very much for being with us. So let me outline to you the activities. On the 22nd and the 23rd of January 2021, the Anglo Traditional Council will hold a series of celebratory and traditional events in Anglo to celebrate the life of His Excellency, the former President, Jerry John Rawlings. Those activities will come to an end on the 23rd of January 2021 in Anglo. On Sunday, the 24th of January, the national activities will start with a Catholic Requiem Mass at the Holy Spirit Cathedral here in Accra, and then a vigil at the Air Force base here in Accra at 6 p.m. Monday, 25th of January 2021, the mortal remains of His Excellency, the former President, will be laid in state for filing past by various categories of the general public, starting first with the heads of security agencies, leaders of political parties, and then the general public. We've already received indication from several groupings within the general public, including political parties, volunteer groups, etc., that will want to file past. We would encourage you to make your details known here at the desk at the Accra International Conference Center so that priority can be given to all of these groups when it is time for the general public and the subgroupings within the general public to file past. On Tuesday, the 26th of January 2021, filing past resumes at 9 a.m., led by His Excellency the President of the Republic, followed by the Vice President, former heads of state, the heads of constitutional bodies as well. At 10 a.m., Parliament, led by the Right Honourable Speaker and former speakers, will file past. At noon, the Chief Justice, Justices of the Supreme Court and former Chief Justices will file past. At 1 p.m., the former Chairman and members of the Council of State, former Ministers of State will also file past. At 2 p.m., members of the Diplomatic Corps will file past. And then at 3 p.m., we will make way for traditional and customary rites and celebrations while the body is in state. On the 27th of January 2021, that is on Wednesday, there will be a burial service with full military honors at the Black Star Square here in Accra, led by the Ghana Armed Forces, after which the mortal remains of His Excellency the former President will be interred at the military cemetery at Bema Camp. These are the details of the activities to celebrate the life and to inter the mortal remains of His Excellency the former President Jerry John Rawlings. In the few minutes that we have, when I'm done with a quick wrap, for the benefit of those who report for some of the local language stations, I'll take questions or clarifications that you may have. Omankanida da Jerry John Rawlings, Emrasu said, Yebe Penny Krabia, na their funeral planning committee, any Nebusia, any Anglo Traditional Council, and Nemu Sempeniphone now has your Madria Kobenkum said, 22nd and 23rd January, Anglo Traditional Council, every year, they are a friend of celebration and traditional activities, Anglo, the Jamano. They are mining now, Yenufia, Kosiada 24th of January, where Catholic Mass or Holy Spirit Cathedral, and Sana Vigil, Air Force Base, Krahase. Juada 25th of January, Ena Yade Nimuno, Ebeto Idum, na Ubibiara Obepese, Obeba be trying to proceed Chato, Potokasam Yase pay the final respect Nabe. If it is no or three heads of security agencies, any leaders of political parties, and some general public, and Ebe Babi German or be trying to proceed fiti no or trino. Yes, sir. In cool Ahodoa or more Edikama, so I saw money on Babi German, be say, you will come back or conference center. I say, Mama, you won't a cool now. Yabema, Mwenya, baby, most mobile, was proceeding a Babi Chana, a chatuano, emu. Political parties, volunteer groups near there, especially Mama and something yes, Bernard 26th of January, no Kunomba, or Mampeni, Nana Danko Kufa, Donina Bidi tree, and the Ghana Mampeni, a Bessin Quetiase, also ever be trying to proceed, and Sana heads of constitutional bodies, so Ababe Jamano. A Bonundua, Parliament, ever be Jamano, Speaker, any former speakers, and Sana members of Parliament. Baby Jamno Nondu. Bodumi, you know, Chief Justice, former Chief Justices, Justices of the Supreme Court, on Babi Jamno. Ebo Duba Kwa, former Chairman and members of the Council of State, former Ministers of State, so Babi Jamno. Ebo Nomi, you know, Diplomatic Corps, Babi Jamno. Asana Bo Nomi and Sa, Nana Matan Kunya, any a handful. So I be Pesa Babi Jamno, no Ababi Jamno. 27th, Ukwarano, Black Star Square, the entire friend Independence Square, no, a whole ena yebeye neyi kese, asraf ye, so say now a commander in chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. In Tipoto Kasam, you say a full military burial led by the Ghana Armed Forces. If we are Yakopeni Krabia, a military cemetery, a war Bema camp. Command a war, a whole. And I'm gonna, I haven't informed you, Chief of Protocol. And I'm going to invite you to do a quick translation in Ewe for me. I hope your Ewe is good. To do a quick translation in Ewe for me. And then after that, I will take questions from our colleagues who are here. So Mr. Kuma is the Acting Director, State Protocol.
Thank you very much, Caretaker Minister. I must say, I was taken by surprise, but I'll do my very best. You, Akbenami, Abala Imyesea, Miape, Dukrola, Imekaleo, Fly Lieutenant J. John Rawlings, me. But I need to FDD, Kudodo, the American caretaker minister, 1 hour, I check on me. Considerable 24th, sorry, 22nd, 23rd of January. Sienye, Filaple, Memlia, Yema. Emma, Oga, Le Anglogan, Ukuno Oga, Anglon. Emma, Sunday, 24th of January. Omas Woga, the Holy Spirit Cathedral, Le Galafi. Fiaima Garde Choina Vigil G Gale Air Force Base, the Airwac, Le Gang. Juragbe, 25th of January. Chugani Basede Fiain Ghanea. Wale Bodia in state, the conference center la fille. And heads of security agencies, so the leaders of political parties, the general public are while now opportunity to have a 5 past, I pay over last respect. Okay, Blaragbe, 26th of January, 2021. Chuka Sheke, Radugawu Ndima, Duplola, the president, the vice president, former president, heads of constitutional bodies in Ghana, or 5 past, I pay their last respect to former President Rawlings, the late former President Rawlings. Kanapu, 10 to 12, the Speaker of Parliament, former speakers, bless Saotakweko, however, auto. Emegba, Chuka Weave, Pastor Gareka, the Chief Justice, former justices, and justices of the Supreme Court, who have 5 past appeal for respect. Chugareka Igavema, former chairman and members of the Council of State, Hawa Wato, former ministers of state, Gave Igatoa, members of the diplomatic corps, ambassadors, high commissioners, Yaola Fia, Hawa, 5 past. And then Miawunu play traditional customary rights. Chugaton, Idega Neme. Ta Eyenye Dudua Imidube Nemianya. Akwenami. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kuma. Colleagues, I have a few minutes within which I'll take your questions right here. And I would encourage that your questions are restricted to the outline of activities as I've made available to you. And if there's any clarification I can provide, I'll do well to provide. One thing I did not mention in my initial outline is that the Thanksgiving service is reserved for the family. Yes, sir. Introduce yourself. Please use the microphone. Let's be very quick.
Thank you. My name is Ataminsa from Ghana News Agency. I want to find out whether the Funeral Planning Committee took into consideration the former president's wishes regarding the funeral activities put in place. Then 2, I'm asking the second question based on what happened when the former UN Secretary General died. His mortal remains was in the casket, but was laid in state. I want to find out whether it will be similar to what happened to former UN Secretary General, or this one, the mortal remains will be exposed for the public to view. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Joseph Armstrong. I work with TV3. Quick one. So on the day of the final funeral rite at the Independence Square, are there going to be any restrictions for the general public that should be coming, and also for the media that would want to cover? Are we going to begin accreditation, and how soon, and how should we apply for? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to take only one round of questions, so if you have a question, now is a good time to raise it, because I will not be coming back. Yes, sir.
Thank you. My name is Tawfiq Abdul Nasser from TV Africa. I want to find out, during this period of COVID-19 that public gathering is not encouraged, what are some of the mechanisms put in place to ensure that we adhere to the protocols during this period? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Honorable Minister, my name is Ronald Boko from Daily Searchlight. What went to is being buried in Accra here at Bamaka, instead of his hometown?
Thank you. You have another question? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to find out whether the media will be allowed to cover the annual traditional activities. Then, two, why not the Assembly Park, but the former president will be buried at the military at camp, Burma camp, not at Assembly Park?
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Good afternoon, Honorable Minister. My name is Blessed. I work with Class.
I can't see you. Where are you?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
So, two quick questions. First of all, when the former president passed, we had an announcement from the president that there were plans to immortalize the late president by renaming one of the universities after him. We understand that was not his wish. Has government been able to reconcile the issues? And if you have, what then are the plans going forward to ensure that generations unborn and those who are yet to come would meet some relics that we can always learn about the late president? Thank you.
Thank you. So I think I'll provide responses to your questions as I've received them currently. But the former president's wishes factored into the planning activities. Yes, they were. Second question is, will the public have an opportunity to view the mortal remains of His Excellency the former president? Yes, the public would have an opportunity to view the mortal remains of His Excellency the former president. Will there be restrictions? There will be security and COVID-related restrictions. As much as possible, if you want to observe on television from home, you are not stopped from doing so. If you want to come pay your final respects, either here or at the Independence Square, you are reminded that there will be very strict COVID protocols, and you are encouraged to comply with same. There's a question about the military cemetery as a choice of burial grounds. The military cemetery is now the designated place for the interment of former heads of state. There is a question about whether or not the press will be allowed to cover the celebrations and the traditional ceremonies in Anglo. Yes. And then there's a final question, or last but one question about press accreditation. My understanding is that the Ministry of Information, as it always does, will invite, I think from tomorrow, media houses that are interested in covering to apply and be accredited so that they can do so. I think these are the questions and these are the answers to them. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for attending upon our invitation. We apologize we delayed in having you here, but this is the brief that we have for you. While you wait, the members of the Funeral Planning Committee and the executives who are here with us will file out to go and wrap up their work. We thank you very much for your cooperation.